Auditors! Put your hands behind your back. Auditors!
A young man with special needs violently taken to the ground. Police then use a stun gun on him, all for throwing rocks into a neighbor's yard. Good evening. I'm John McKay.
I'm Cynthia Aguirre. Thank you for joining us. First told you about this case in Young County last week. Now we're seeing the disturbing police body cam footage. Here's Todd Unger.
Care if I search you? No.
You're looking at 19-year-old Michael Moore.
What's going on? I'm okay.
He's autistic and about to have an encounter with Graham police take a very bad turn.
Yeah. Where do you live at, Mr. Moore? Right here.
Moore is being questioned in his own backyard 2 weeks ago after a neighbor called 911 to report a man tossing rocks into their yard.
The police pulled up and he waved at me and I ran out to them and asked me, "Do you live here?" And I said yes.
Police don't know he's autistic when they arrive, thinking instead he's high or drunk. The body camera footage shows him becoming visibly confused.
Follow it with your eyes and your eyes only. Keep your arms at your side.
After a couple minutes, things escalate when officers decide to put handcuffs on Michael.
Put your hands behind your back. I'm sorry.
Michael is taken to the ground and stunned twice by a taser.
Hit him again. Hit him again. I'm gonna hit you again.
Throughout the takedown,
You're about to get tased.
the young man repeatedly yells for his mother, who's just out of earshot in the front of the house.
This is my child, and you have put your hands on him and you have hurt him.
When word of this first got out, the police department's Facebook page was inundated with hundreds, if not thousands, of comments. Today, they are still standing behind these officers, while also acknowledging a need to do more training. The chief saying in part via a statement, quote, "The department will use this opportunity to expand our awareness and ability to serve diverse residents within our community."
Can I come in
Have him detained.
Yes.
Michael suffered facial and eye injuries. These photos were snapped at the hospital.
You're not going to kill, baby.
His family maintains if officers had simply knocked at their front door, it all could have been avoided. Now, we understand that original 911 caller did in fact tell dispatch that they thought Michael had some mental disabilities. Again, police insisting tonight that information was never passed along to their officers. We're live. Todd Unger, Channel 8 News.
All right, Todd, thank you.
Cheryl, Cook County prosecutors say the veteran Chicago police officer tased a man who was complying with his orders. That man is now suing the city of Chicago, and his attorney has provided us with the officer's body camera video that shows the entire incident.
For lying to me.
For lying to you, I ain't lied to you.
Starting with breaking news, WGN Investigates has learned a Chicago police officer has been criminally charged after tasing someone on the city's northwest side.
Getting right to that, Jenna Barnes is live at City Hall with the very latest. Jenna.
Ray and Micah, that officer was charged today with 2 felonies stemming from an incident that lasted just about 60 seconds. It was all captured on the officer's body camera, and we want to warn you, the video is disturbing to watch. Officer Marco Simonetti is now charged with felony aggravated battery and felony official misconduct stemming from an August 2021 call on the northwest side about a suspicious person pulling on gates in the neighborhood.
I ain't doing nothing to your yard, I promise.
What are you doing?
Huh?
Why'd you leave your jacket over?
Huh? That's my jacket. You want to look through it?
He begins to question this 26-year-old neighbor.
You live there?
Yeah.
You got an ID or a key?
Nah, I ain't got a key on it.
If you're lying to me, you can live there. I'm gonna lock you up.
No, I lied for what?
For lying to me.
For lying to you, I ain't lied to you. I ain't lied to you.
After the unarmed neighbor empties his pockets, the officer grabs his wrist.
No. Why are you arresting me? Why are you arresting me?
I'm not arresting.
The neighbor runs away, and Officer Simonetti draws his taser as the man has his hands up.
Get down on the ground right now!
I ain't do nothing. I ain't still nothing. Look at.
Give me one more car over here. Get on the ground! I'm gonna tase you. Last warning.
I ain't doing nothing. I do it. Can you put it down? Put it down for us?
One last warning.
Okay, please don't tase.
Taser struck the man in the forehead and the arm. On the ground, he begins convulsing. Prosecutors say he lost consciousness, broke his nose, and required stitches.
Quad A to tase him.
While the body camera video captured Officer Simonetti radioing that he had to use the taser, prosecutors say in a later report, the officer said he unintentionally deployed it. Simonetti works as a field training officer and has been with Chicago police since 1994. He was arrested Wednesday night, and Police Superintendent David Brown says criminal charges aren't the only discipline he'll face.
We're in process of relief of powers because he was arrested, and that the investigation will obviously be ongoing and conclude with, at some point, some recommendation for ultimately disciplining the officer.
A family in Tennessee has filed a federal civil lawsuit against a police department after he was arrested, restrained, and then tased several times while he was restrained. We have the video of it, and it's really hard to look at. So I want to give you guys a warning ahead of time. But with that said, let's take a look.
So he's obviously restrained. There's no question about that. And Anna, are they claiming they did this because they didn't want him to do stuff after he's restrained? Because otherwise, this is just gratuitous torture.
So this video went on for a long time, and it's really hard to look at. They went on and on and on, and they wouldn't stop. And he's restrained. He doesn't pose a threat. I mean, the whole reason why the taser is available to police enforcement, is so they can subdue someone who is not easily subdued. And in this case, he is literally restrained. And I mean, I gotta be honest, he's lucky that he didn't die, because it went on for a long time, and they're tasing him in his chest. And there have been cases of people who have died because the taser hit their heart. And
yeah, you could definitely have a heart attack. I'm going to read the first graphic here. In the second video, taken from the taser camera and matching the time period shown in the first video, one officer is heard saying, "I'll keep on doing that until I run out of batteries." So look, if someone is having a mental episode, please bring in an expert. A taser is not a psychological expert.
By the way, his stepfather, William Chapman, said that after the teen was released on bond from jail, he counted more than 40 burns on his body, and they even provided some photos to prove it. Again, graphic, but here's some more evidence that they plan on using in this case. It's just so stupid. It really is.
You know what? Again, it is always comes back, unfortunately, the same thing: training. Okay, because there's two issues wrong with the training here, and not every police department does it that way. We've over and over given credit to the police departments that do bring in mental health experts, and they and the ones that do that lower the rate of violence from cops to citizens tremendously.
Please stop pretending like we don't have an issue with policing in the country.